Hello, good afternoon. This is David Sutter talking to you, and today is my daily trade prediction video for Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. Okay, and what I'm going to do right here is I will look at all the major Forex currency pairs on various time frames, okay, just different time frames, and I will try to give you my analysis of what I think is going to happen in the coming days, okay, the next 24 to 48 hours, so you can get ready to play some trades, okay. So, what I want to start with here is Euro USD, and you see on the chart that so far this week we've had pretty much a flat range of market, all right, and this is carried over from last week, right. Now we've hit what I call a double top, okay. We hit a strong resistance twice, all right. So that means typically we're just going to be coming down, okay. We see, if you look right here, I don't know if you can see real well, right here it was what's called the weekend gap, okay. This was from Friday, and this is where it started on Monday, and there was actually a gap, meaning that the Forex market is still moving on the weekend. Even though we are not allowed to trade on the weekend, the Forex market is still moving very little, okay. So I just wanted to point that out. But anyhow, you know, it's like right now it's just right in a sideways motion, okay. So it's stuck right here in this little region, but that's okay. It's definitely getting ready to come down. If we look at the higher time frames, the 4-hour chart, we see about the same thing, okay. We had a strong resistance here. It formed another resistance here. Even though there's no red arrow, we do see that on the 1-hour chart, as we just saw a minute ago, right? And now if we go to the daily chart, again, we have a strong signal to sell, okay, even though it's really not going to a downtrend yet. And this is all part of, you know, the effects of the US dollar, all right? So what is going to happen? Well, right now we're sitting at a very strong resistance right now, okay. It keeps hitting this resistance. So the next step is for it to come down, okay. If we look at the weekly chart, same thing, okay. So we hit a very, very strong level of resistance, okay. I'm not going to look at the monthly because that's just so far out, but if we look here back at the 1-hour chart, okay, we know that it's getting ready to drop, and we know it's at a strong level of resistance. If we look at the smaller time frames, okay, kind of see the same thing. A 30-minute chart is pretty much the same as a 1-hour, but it's a little more in detail, okay. And if we look at the 15-minute chart, we see here we have a lot more red and blue arrows. Now here on the 15-minute chart, this is pretty cool because now we have a blue arrow here, and it's pointing up, okay. We have a red arrow, blue arrow, and the next is another red arrow, okay. So it should, if we mark this resistance, I feel very highly likely that this is definitely going to form a red arrow right here on this green line. So you definitely want to get ready to sell right about now. What we can do here is we also have another resistance right here, okay. I really don't think it's going to go that high, but what we can do is we can put a sell limit pending order right in here, okay, and it's almost there already. Technically you could place sell right now and just leave it, but I would put a sell limit pending order just slightly above with about a 200 point take profit below that, okay. And then if we take, I'm going to take this green line and just drag it down, okay, and mark this support right here, okay, then we could put a sell stop pending order with about a 200 point take profit below that. So limit order, stop order, limit order, stop order, just like that, okay. That would work perfect for the Euro USD right now. Moving on to Gbp Usd, okay. On the 1-hour chart, again, we have a strong signal to sell. It's hit the same resistance twice, so it's definitely looking like it's going to be dropping. If we go to the 4-hour chart, we have a signal to buy, but never formed a red arrow, okay. But the daily chart shows the sell, and the weekly chart shows the sell as well. So I'm a little suspect on the 4-hour chart, but it might go up a little bit higher, and it's not going to go as high as this red arrow. What probably will happen is we have a high point right here, okay. We have a resistance right here, and it might shoot up to that point, okay. So if you look at if you drop down to the 1-hour chart, we see that resistance right here, okay. So I am, even though it's setting sell right now, I am kind of betting that it's going to go even higher. and that's okay. So what we can do is we can put a sell limit pennant order just slightly below this green line, okay, below this resistance right here on the 1 hour chart. And then again, put like a 200, 300 point take profit, and you'll be perfectly fine. And now if we let me drop down the smaller time frames real quick. 30-minute looks almost identical, and then 15-minute, here's what I want to look at. 15-minute has a blue arrow. So if I take this green line and drag it down to here, that's going to mark our support down below. Okay, you see that? And then we could put a sell stop pennant order below this with about another 200 or maybe even 300 point take profit. So up here you're going to put a limit order, down here you put a stop order. Limit order, stop order. Okay, perfect strategy. Moving on to Aud USD. Now this is a little bit different, but we have a signal to sell here, and it has actually been dropping. It retraced a little bit, came back up, but soon it's going to drop some more. Okay, if we look at the 4 hour chart, okay, almost the exact same thing. Just you're zooming out a little bit in the 4 hour chart, but you can definitely see that it's dropping and retrace it back a little bit. Daily chart, pretty much the same thing. Okay, so we had a strong signal to sell on yesterday, and then today it's retracing and coming back up slightly, but that's okay. So we know long term it's going to be dropping. Okay, weekly chart again has a strong signal to sell right now. Okay, and this is all kind of fresh, so it's going to take some time for this to drop. But what we can do is we go down to the smaller time frames. Look at this. Okay, 30-minute, perfect. 30-minute had. I started on the higher time frames and I worked down to the smaller time frames until I see the opposite signal from what the bigger time frames show. Okay, the bigger time frames are showing the sell. I'm panning down to a smaller time frame until I find a blue arrow. Okay, a signal to buy, which I found here on the 30-minute chart. So what's going to happen? Okay, is it going to go back up to the same level of resistance? I don't know. It very well could. Maybe not. This one here is a little bit lower, so I don't know how high it's going to go up, where it's going to stop, but somewhere in here it's going to stop. Okay, so what we can do is we'll put a sell limit pennant order just a little ways below, about 75, about 100 points below. Okay, this green line, which would be right in here, and we'll put a sell limit right there with about another 200 point take profit. Okay, now if I'm going to drag this green line down to here to the blue arrow right here. That's going to mark our support down below. Okay, and again we can put a sell stop pennant order below this with about a 200 point take profit as well. Okay, very simple. Moving on to US dollar versus Swiss franc. Okay, USD CHF. This is excellent right here. Okay, if this other ones we should Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, those are all getting ready to drop. So US dollar should be doing the exact opposite. Okay, just so you know that. Okay, and what we see here is in fact the US dollar getting ready to go up. Is it going up? Not so much. Okay, it's just kind of riding sideways right now, and that's okay. Soon it's going to go up. Okay, so we have a very, very strong support level. Okay, if we look at the 4 hour chart, we have a signal to buy. Daily chart shows to buy. Weekly chart shows to buy. So long term it's going to be going up, right? And like I said, this is the US dollar is kind of fragile right now, so don't expect any huge gains right now. Okay, but if we go down to a smaller time frame, I'm looking for a red arrow. Okay, 15 minute has a blue arrow, 5 minute has a red arrow. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted to see. So it's going to drop a little bit more, and probably if you mark, well, let me get this line to bring it up a little bit. We see on the 5 minute chart there's a support right here, and I'm thinking that will be where the price will drop and form another blue arrow right here. So what we can do is we could put a buy limit pennant order just slightly above this green line. Now the thing is, we're already there, just about. So technically, you could place a buy trade now, or just wait till it drops a little more. If you get a blue arrow on the 5-minute chart, go ahead and buy. Okay, and then you can switch back up to a higher time frame, and to 30-minute, probably 30-minute. Wait for the next red arrow and close, or you can just use like a 200-point take profit and set and forget it. USD Jpy. It's kind of interesting. So we see the price here shot back up and came back down on the 1-hour chart. That's okay, because whatever goes down must come back up, and vice versa. 4-hour chart, we basically see the same thing. Daily chart, kind of the same thing, right? But the price had dropped. It keep hitting this support down here. Okay, so we're basically at a pretty strong support level right now. Will it drop more? It's debatable. I don't know. But what I can say is that it's definitely getting ready to go back up. If we look at the weekly chart, again, we see the same thing, right? Now, one thing to point out here in particular, and this is something you may want to apply to your trading. Okay, if we draw a trend line like this, okay, I don't know why it just did that, but anyhow, okay, we see a high point here, we see a high point here, and a high point here. Okay, we need 1, 2, 3 points to mark a perfect trend line. Okay, so what I would do, if you're using a daily chart, you can use a 4-hour chart as well, but daily chart seems to be pretty good. Wait for about 2 candles or so to break above, and then buy. Okay, this is on a daily chart, so it might take another week before this breaks. Okay, just to let you know. I don't know. It's already Tuesday now, so what I think is going to happen is for the rest of this week, we're going to see a range of market. Okay, a lot of highs and lows. Okay, eventually it's going to break, and when it does, we're going to see a big correction and a long uptrend. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, what can you do for the next 24 to 48 hours? You can buy. Okay, let's look at the 30-minute chart. Let's see if we can find a blue arrow. Okay, there we go. 15-minute chart has the blue arrow. We also have a blue arrow here. Okay, so this might drop even further. I don't know. Okay, this might repaint because it's only a 15-minute time frame. But what we can do here is put a buy limit pennant order just slightly above this green line. Okay, with about a 200-point take profit, and you'll be perfectly fine. Should we use a stop order? That's debatable. If we bring this up right here, okay, mark that resistance right here. You could put a buy stop above, slightly above here, with another 200-point take profit. So limit order, stop order. Okay, limit order, stop order, just like that. The thing about the stop order is that it's going to take time for that to open and close. Okay, it might take a few days. I don't know, but eventually it's going to go up. Okay, eventually it's definitely going to go up. It's just a matter of time now. So definitely at least put a limit order, and if you want, put a stop order as well. Okay, US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, USD CAD, on the 1-hour chart. Okay, we see almost the same thing. We have a signal to buy, and it's just been kind of riding sideways, just like USD CHF a minute ago. 4-hour chart shows to buy, daily chart shows to buy, and the weekly chart as well. Okay, now these are all kind of fresh signals, and the market is still fragile. Okay, when it comes to the US dollar. But nice thing that the note here is that we have on the market right, we have a strong level of support right here, and it might drop back down to here. Okay, we go down to the 30-minute time frame. There we go. Okay, we're looking for a red arrow, opposite color. So this is perfect right here, and we see a blue arrow here, which is slightly higher than the previous. But what I would do to be safe is put a buy limit pin order just slightly above this support line down here on the bottom where the green line is, and then about a 200-point take profit. Again, you'll be perfectly fine. Now, if you see here in a 30-minute chart, we have a strong support line right there. Okay, and then we have, resistance, strong resistance here, and then we have another resistance here. So that's okay. Once it breaks this, it's going to go to the next higher level. Okay, so we could put a buy stop pin order just slightly above here with about a 200-point take profit. Okay, so again, limit order, stop order, limit order, stop order, just like that, and you will be perfectly fine. Okay, so anyhow, let me know if you have any questions at all about these predictions, or if you need me to analyze another currency pair, just hit me up on Facebook. I'll put a link below in the description of this video for my personal Facebook. Please contact me there first. Also, I'll put a link for my private Facebook group, and you can request to join my Facebook group and post any questions or comments in my Facebook group. Okay, so with that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. Please let me know how I can help you. Thank you.